fortunate to get some selected in program supported by Government of India, DST, Department of Science and Technology. And I was like one of the 10 researchers from India to visit Switzerland. It should be simpler for a surgeon to use it in a tense environment.
Hi all and welcome to today's podcast. So today we have somebody with us who is tackling that most of us only dream of doing and helping others. He is somebody who's a good friend and he's working towards helping patients come back on track after some mishaps that have happened in life. Doesn't it sound interesting? So join me in welcoming Sai today to today's podcast. Hi Sai, welcome to the podcast today.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here.
That's wonderful. We all are looking forward to hearing about you, your journey, the product, the medical devices, and everything about it.
Happy to share my journey with you.
That's great. So, Sai, before we dive into your journey and everything, why don't you tell us about the product, about how it is helping skin regeneration, and all about it?
Okay, so I'll try to keep it very simple, no medical terms, so that it's easy for everyone to understand. So, what you do when you get injured when making a breakfast or something, if you cut your fingers by some mistake by a knife or cutting vegetables, the first thing you'll wash your fingers so that blood stops, and the second thing will be you'll attach some bandage as a first aid. Very simple things, right? And if the things get recovered by bandage, you will just change the bandage after 1 or 2 days, or depending on the injuries. Just imagine what will happen if someone's hand is injured in an accident. Okay, whole hand or a body part is injured. They also need a bandage for covering the wounds, since it is an open wound. So in case of this, what surgeons do is it's like a blood. If you will be aware with in blood donation, E will give it to A, O to O blood groups.
Yes.
So in skin, it's not that simple to get a skin from same exact species to do it. So what surgeons do is take a skin from the same patients. There will be healthy skin. They will take it and cover it on the wounds. It will be a bandage. Okay. And this is as simple as just taking a skin from a healthy region and transplanting on the wounds so that it covers as a bandage. It's close the wounds. Then the challenges starts when the wounds are larger in size. Just imagine if you heard this term sometimes, like a person's injured 20%, 30%, 50%. So what this percentage means is our whole human body is considered as 100%. Okay, and just to give an example, one hand is roughly a 9% of the surface burns, surface area. So if someone tells like 20% surface area is burned, means just imagine both of his hands are burns or it's open wounds it's created. Now to close that 20%, a surgeon will need a 20% of skin to keep it very simple. Just imagine it's 20% is there because total human body is like 100%. So 80% skin was there. He will take that 20% and cover it. Fine. Just imagine now case of 50% burns.
Oh my God.
Can a surgeon take the 50% of the remaining skin and cover that? No. What will happen in that case? A whole human will be like an open surgery there. No skin left on his body. So in such cases, what surgeons try to take is if you will try to take a small patch of skin from the remaining skin, okay, and try to expand it. Expand means keep simply stretching the skin. Like you stretch plastic sheet or something to cut it, or just to cover it something. If you are feeling it short of the length or the area, we stretch it something.
Taking advantage of the elasticity.
Taking the advantage of elasticity, like normally a plastic sheet is a very good example. And to imagine how skin is thinner, it's like top layer of the onion peel. When you peel off the onion, the toppest layer of that, it's very thin. If you just stretch it a little bit, the chance of tearings are high. So skin is something very thin layer of
Mm-hmm.
And the challenges is this: it is case of emergency. Someone is waiting just to save someone's life. So it is whole of challenge. Emergency is there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is like don't know what to do next. Blood loss is there, and everything around that.
Mm-hmm.
So the surgeons normally try to cover that wound as fast as possible, so that the chances of saving that patient is should be higher. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when there are larger wounds, as I'm telling you about stretching the skin? So, see, just imagine stretching something, there is a limitation of stretch. I can't take a part of plastic sheet and stretch it this much far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are challenges with the material too. And that is exactly what surgeons face today. Okay. And now there is limitations of mechanical applying of strength. See, there is a properties like mechanical strength to every things.
Mm-hmm.
And how you can overcome that? It's then finding a technological way how to overcome that mechanical challenge or the natural challenge of the skin for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how my journey started to how to come up this. To keep it short, what is we are doing currently is just spraying, taking this patch of skin, processing that and spraying it like a perfume, like a person going to his home or to a job or somewhere. We spray a perfume bottle from. It's as simple as that. A surgeon sprays a perfume, sprays a skin on the
Mm-hmm.
wounds, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all. No stitches needed to cover it. The pain what a patient undergoes by stitches are almost minimized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's the whole story about it. How we are able to save someone's life in the credit since like that. So with this, just imagine a 50% burn or person who has lost 50% of his human skin.
Mm-hmm.
They can just cover most of that part by taking just a stamp size of 5 centimeters skin and able to
Oh.
cover it uniformly over a larger area, and that's also in uh, uh, shortest possible time of like around 20 to 30 minutes.
Mhm. That's really wonderful. And I think that that sets up a overall context about the product and what we're going to talk into. And I'm sure everybody listening to the podcast right now is super intrigued to know how is it that skin can be sprayed to regenerate skin back, especially in burn patients, and how a little amount of skin as well can be used to do that. So, say, I would like to know what exactly motivated you. Was it something you saw? What was the motivation behind working in this product, as well as overall into the medical device industry and field?
Okay, interesting question. So I'd like to take you some back to my journey of my days.
Yeah.
What it was in my mind when I started all with this. See, to keep it very simple, at the initial stage, when I was growing up, if I just to give an example, since your background is a watch, the wall-mounted watches. So I
Mm-hmm.
will always have a question like why something moves in that particular fashion, something why is that of that shape, why 12 is at top and not at the bottom. So that curiosity to answer these questions was something I has to try to find that answer why someone has thought to do it in some similar fashion, and that people will just go in with that. And now it's like if you switch on your fan, our fans also ceiling fan, it will rotate some direction. My question used to always arise me why that particular direction itself, why not the other way, why not putting
Mm-hmm.
the blades, everything doing a different way, why that is that the correct way of doing things,
Mm-hmm.
of making things. And that curiosity helped me to study product design. Okay, why something is designed some particular fashion, not the other way, what is the
Mm-hmm.
thinking behind that, and how to learn that. So when I was learning this product design and this, I understood the background thinking which goes in designing something. Like, and that curiosity when I understood it, like
Mm-hmm.
how to do, the next step I had to apply it for something. In colleges, we start with some product. case studies. We'll do it as a subject studies, and this. It was good. I was good getting I was satisfied with that work. Okay, I was able to design something, but it was not more than for my 2 or 3 friends in my group and my close family members. I can show see something new we are designing. But what after that? If I to take it to a larger parts of the people and show that effect of this, that was my next step. Like if I do something, it should be affecting large number of people, not just to my friends and family. And that's how all things started about. And then I started working on something which were like smart variables, whether smart fans, something, everything which was smart. And that was a luxurious product. Okay, that were coming in luxury. That was not essential things. So, and then my curiosity was, I want to make something which will be essential or something which will be impactful. Okay, then I was starting exploring what I can do it for that. If my vision is to make an impact or something, where to start with. Okay, and then while exploring things, what I can do it with my knowledge, and this medical device was a field which has both the things. I should design something, and that will be also impactful to someone's life. And that's how I landed in medical devices. So in medical device, when I started, it is always a new field for me. Being an engineer to work in medical device, it's like knowing a product design is just a half side of the story. The other half is understanding the human science or the biology parts and many things what goes in the surgery. So in initial days were more or less observing, attending the surgeries, observing how surgeons operate, get familiar with the terms what they use, get familiar with the environment. What is that? The tense. Is it really tense to be in the operation theater when some life of some patient is in our hands, in surgeon's hands? So how the tense environment is. Just going through all that. Given me an understanding like something which if when I will make it, it will be nothing like a gadget. It should be simpler for a surgeon to use it in the tense environment. I should not make it multiple step process or complicated things. Instead of concentrating on the surgery, the surgeon should concentrate on the device as such. And this all understanding given me like what I should make the simplest of the simple things. Okay, and to give an understanding, what was the next curiosity for me was it's being an engineer and done something. What I know was my skill sets and my interest. These were two things with me: my skill set and my interest. Now, the second question comes like if I had to pick up the problem, it should match my skill set and my interest. And I was a part of a BITIC. So it is a research lab sponsored by Government of Maharashtra and Government of India. It has 3 centers in Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur. I was in Pune centers. And what happens is there are a number of problem statement from local doctors, which are that's problem they came across or they are facing the current practice. And one of that such problem was for treating burns. Okay. And this was like treating burns with the skin. I think that was my interest because it was somewhere related with the mechanical challenges. Being a mechanical engineer, I could see that this is a mechanical challenge of fluid mechanics and about the engineering materials and engineering design, which we studied. And that I thought a perfect fit. But the journey was just that the halfway. Now the part was to go inside that problem to understand how deep is the problem and is it really a large problem to solve. Because my always point was I should impact something a large number of people. It's not just be people around me. So to understand how large is the problem, it's always good to interview or talk with the surgeons who are facing that problem. Okay. So I started talking with number of surgeons. Like in India, I talked with almost 50 surgeons in India.
That's true.
And this was from like not just since I'm located in Mumbai or Pune, it's not just in that geography. I will travel to Chennai, I will travel to Hyderabad. You name the place, I will travel to that place.
Mhm.
Personally take an appointment. Even if it's like a small place like Bareilly, I will travel to that place just to take an interview of the surgeons to understand the challenges what they're facing. And then my curiosity was okay. I understood that it is a problem for India. Now just see, we are all humans. It's if a problem is in India, is it someone has solved that in Africa, someone has solved in Europe or US or Singapore? Then
Mhm.
my curiosity was like, if this is a problem, why not take something, learn from someone or who has done this, or maybe there is a problem. So my next curiosity was, now let's go outside India and talk with surgeons. And I fortunate to get some selected in program supported by Government of India, DST, Department of Science and Technology. And I was like one of the 10 researchers from India to visit Switzerland in 2019. And then the continuous journey started there, going there, talking with surgeons in Switzerland, talking in Italy, talking in France, understanding the problem. No doubt the scale is different, but the problem, since we are all humans, treating the biology is same, more or less.
Mhm.
So try to understand the problems in that part of the geography. I got to know, okay, the problem is there, people are trying to solve, but it is not a full scale solution till now. And that gives me a confidence, like it is not just being a developed country, we are facing that problem. And then it's a not stop. Just 2 days back, I was talking at late night in the midnight in India time with a senior surgeon in the US, trying to understand the problem in his setups.
Mhm.
Okay, so to come out with this, that was like the confidence about the problem is really huge. And this is something what trying to make an impact of.
Mhm.
And then putting my all knowledge, contacts, networks to solve that one single problem. And
Mhm.
that's how the journey then started with. And that's what I am doing now.
Mhm. That's wonderful. And actually, you sharing your whole journey of how even each of the skills that you learned, be it of you being a mechanical engineer to coming into product design to coming into biology and like medical field, that's like wonderful. Is there something you haven't done? It's really wonderful to see that. So especially there'll be a lot of people from the engineering background and product design background. So what motivated you the what motivated you to transition from being a mechanical engineer to come to product design? And if there are some fond memories you have from your engineering days, related to work, related to non-work, which actually made you even interested into actually learning the core concepts of engineering and not just doing it for the professional prestigious degree that it is?
Yeah, there are many. Just to start with something. So, uh, the everything till now, if I summarize in one word, what it stands for me is curiosity. From day one, it was curiosity, but today also it is always a curiosity. If someone asks me a question just yesterday and I could not find the answer for that, that will go to my book, question book, where
Wow.
like this answer I don't know, and that is only what keeps something moving you forward. The curiosity.
Mhm.
So, in engineering days, if someone like to just to make some devices or something, device not some a product, like we have some challenges or something, like in college days, go and participate in some challenges or something. So I should make participate in that. And today, if I look back into that, oh, that was just a toy, nothing more than
Uh-huh.
that. To give it a toy or something, which I can't use it repeatedly. It was like building blocks put together. Okay,
Mhm.
just some motors are there, some processors are there, something put together. Okay, just a device, not a product to make solve a problem. But that was not repeated. I can use it number of times, and it was really ugly. Like number of wires putting together.
Uh-huh. Getting all
Just
hands
little
on.
hands on, a little shake or vibration will lose some connections and then
Mhm.
working again. So that was my engineering days. So I
Mhm.
feel this will not going to work anywhere. Fine. So I should improve on this. Like I should learn more on this. How we can make it sweet and something which looks very aesthetically pleasant for someone to use. So that was my product design days, like industry design days. To look something pleasant, like people should be just by looking at, they should be curious. So something they should get hands on. And now then I understand. Okay, this is just the half side of the story. Getting that hands on. The next hands-on are like practically taking it to the larger scale. That hands-on should be on the larger scale, and that is what happened. To give you a brief, and now the question what you asked for someone being an engineer or something to go in something is this. Say, let's. I will take a step down to that. When I started, what were the challenges I faced? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, it was simple whether I'm capable of doing that, whether I will get a knowledge or whether can I learn this something new. It is that who will teach me, because till college days it was already like in 10th in like SC boards that we will go to a coaching class and someone will teach us what is mathematics. So then I will learn. So same thing in engineering. There's professors will be there for teaching us in mass. But after that, there is always who will teach me. If I have to go something do, someone should teach me, and where I should get that. And I was lucky enough when I was doing my first job in this IDM research park with 5 team members, all being engineers from IITs and NITs, and I'm one of them. The confidence I got, it like no one was to teach us, but we used to solve problems. And internet was the best teacher for us. And that confidence built up for me, like I can learn anything and anything. The only thing I need a focus. What I need to learn, like focus means like when you open any book, on the first page there is a content and syllabus is fixed, and then we go and study that subject. At the end of that, we don't go back and check the syllabus, like we fix the syllabus. Syllabus is already fixed, then we go and study that. So for me, it was like first fix things what I had to learn, and then internet is your good friend. And that confidence give me that curiosity. I can go in other subjects, anything it may be. My first assignment was like we were designing something custom insoles. The insoles what we wear in our shoes. That was a custom insole, and it was a new concept that time 5 years back. And being an engineer, just out of this, like how to do it or something, where to start and this. And when I started reading about this biomechanics of food to understand the things, just reading. I was just from internet. I came across a person who was a father of biomechanics. Okay. He has written a books and something, or like he was key opinion leaders of the field. And just I wrote him one mail, my list of doubts. Okay. And in just a matter of 1 week or 10 days, I got a reply from him. And that was the point I understood. Like during college, I had some professors to go back to get clarified. But today, internet is the really good friend for me. And learning from someone who is the father of the field is nothing than happy moments for me. And that was the confidence what I gained. Like I can work in something. If I'm curious in this, sincere in exploring something, I can just go in that field and go into details. And then next is asking questions. Keep on asking questions. That is only what till yesterday my work was the same thing, and coming days also it will be the same thing. Someone asks me a question, I don't know, I keep that. I will keep on asking the same question to a resourceful person. Like this is a question someone asks me, and that I can give an examples of questions like that.
Yeah.
Like what given me a theory. And what I understood in this journey is, it is not about answer. Finding an answer is really easy. Even you ask you a right question on Google. See, I'm framing the question on is the trickiest part. I will what I understood. If you frame that question in such a way that you will get an answer in Google, because Google is like just a click away for everyone. So yeah, like one of my professor asked me, Sai, you're trying to get skin sprayed in such a manner. You're getting some specification of the skin. Why that specification? While example, like I'm taking a random number like 10. and 10. Okay, I'm taking 10 is the specification what I'm considering for this, and the minimum I will go, it will the better. Then he asked me, say 10 is your lucky number? No. Then why 10?
Yeah, why is it
You
that the
should.
magic number?
Why is that magic number? And that was my curiosity. Why that 10 is that magic number? Okay. Then I went through the literature, try to understand every number around that. Okay. Which number I should take it. And now today someone asked me that why is the specification that I can confidently tell someone, yeah, that is that. Okay. And that is like just someone asks you a question you don't know at that point, just keep that in question somewhere written. Why that? Why that? And try to go back of that to get an answers for that. And that's how we keep on building our knowledge also, and how we progress in the development. And then when I was explaining this to one of like in one of the forums in medical, one of the senior professor asked me he told like he was like in this field from last 20-30 years. And he told me like, I will ask you 3 questions. Okay. Before asking question, he was set his mind was set. I want to ask you 3 questions, nothing more than that, less than
Nothing
that.
less.
If you answer me that 3 questions, I will understand how much you are developed, how much you are knowledgeable about the things. And that 3 questions, what he asked me, was super good. Okay.
We are curious to know what those questions are.
That was related to that field, so it is
Okay.
not an open. But the thing was, just I was thinking if someone could have asked me that 3 questions at the beginning of my journey, I could be very focused on that itself. Okay, because to get the 3 question answer, I had to work on that for last like 2-3 years to get to that, so that I can confidently answer that 3 questions. So I took a step back. Oh, that question someone asked me before. How could I could be on that the right path, not moving left and right? So it is the power of questions, nothing more than that. To summarize our discussion.
Yeah, agreed completely. Being curious, asking questions, and using the power of questions, as you said, to go through life and actually understand things how they are. And I completely understand the magic number dilemma that you might have had, because I had a similar experience while working in detecting frauds and trades and all. We developed mathematical and statistical models, and there was a particular number which had to go in the denominator, which would have the least false positives. And that used to be the main trick, even though it is just a number, finding that right number and then justifying that, because there are a lot of people who would like to know why that number is working and why not something else. So diving deep into something, I think, can be achieved only with the power of questions. That's wonderful. You also talked about how you were actually able to conquer the fear that you had as a student, especially. And I think most of us even have things like those right now, about trusting yourself to go ahead with the learning process in a non-conventional way, and then actually applying that into the real world to make something good out of it. So before we dive into how you tackled that imposter syndrome, I'd like to first share with everybody about what, if you're okay with sharing, what institutes alumni you are, and like you completed your bachelor's in engineering. So like about your educational background, a lot of people would be curious about that.
Sure. So just back to your question, that is always the first question, the difficulty or doubting self. And the second question is always being running a company now for like last 3 years. So always the second question is always how I can do it. My family or I'm not having gut feeling. Can I do it? Okay, my close support system is not supporting me for that. How to do it? So that is always the next set of questions I also came across. So first of all, to give my background about, I'm Saiprasad Poyarekar. I'm based in Mumbai currently, and my background is like I studied mechanical engineering, and then studied Master of Design in this mechanical systems from Indian Institute of Information Technology, Design and Manufacturing, also short form as IIITDM in Chennai. Okay, and then worked in technology startups developing hardware, especially uh, for something a key problems like the first problem what I started working was charging our phones. But today we have like fast charging. Okay, we can charge, just plug in like dash chargers and many others, and we can get 15 minutes of charge. But that was not a luxury 5 years back. I'm talking about 2015, around that. So that time we tried to solve this problem, the similar problems, and by using our similar handset, the same charging cable, just adding some adapter inside extra, and you can charge it. And when the team with whom I was working, and when they launched this, they got a good support from the market, and they were able to sell that product in some 92 countries globally.
Wow.
And that also through crowdfundings. Like there are platforms like Kickstarters and other platforms. So also it was again at that point also it was more to understand the challenge of the customer and then find a solution around that. And if you find a good challenge, everyone is there to support you to solve that challenge. Okay. And to answer the questions about the self-doubt and this about how can explore something new which no one has explored before that. In today's, I'm talking about like what we should do first is, let's think like where we want to go maybe in 1 year. Not even 1 year, it's difficult, just put in 3 months. Not even if you're not possible to put in 3 months, put it in 1 month. Not 1 month, put in 15 days. But it should be like curiously, next 15 days I should reach at some shortage of the point. It can be just understanding new subject. It can be anything. Okay. When you put what you want to do, the first thing is why you want to do that should be clear. It cannot be clear on the day one because it is a continuous journey of why you want to do what you want to do. And if you are done with that point, just understanding anything you can do, first of all, don't put the limitation. Just be in your system. Like the universe is yours. It is nothing. First, no rules of the universe, no gravity is there. Just imagine that you name anything, that will be possible. That is the best imagination I do for myself because that is my world, right? I can imagine anything. If I am to be someone PM of the country, I can imagine in my world, I can be that. Just put that, no limitations, no rules and nothing. And then just after you're fine with that limited imagination, what you want to be, just try exploring people who have been there, done that. And today, internet is your good friend. You can just Google anything, anywhere. And that will, and keep a thing in mind. The second thing, any doubt what you have, any doubt, any questions, you are the not first person in this universe to get that doubt. Okay, that should be always be answered. If that is a doubt, a logical person like you is having that doubt, 100% it is a confidence. Some person will have that same doubt some years back because I am not the first person to live on this planet with the same mindset. Okay. And now your next question is to find that person who has that same doubt. Okay. And that is easy by internet. Okay. Search. Or keep a focused way to search. Don't go with the suggestions of the Google search. It should be, you should be on the other side. You should use Google as your service, not Google is using you with his their suggestions. Just to keep on the right path. Okay, and once you find, and I will tell you, like there are chances like 90% chance or 99% chance, like you will find a person who has had the same doubt at the same phase of your thing. And then it's like very simple what you done. It's like if you are put in college days, I will always ask, if when I was in 9th, I will ask the 10th person who is in 10th standard how to prepare for board exam, what subjects, which textbooks I should read, which coaching class I should join. Same questions, same question. Level of questions will be same. Like if you know someone who has done that before you, ask the same question, how you done that? What you done? What college you went? Not college, who supported you? Can you help me to do it? I can assure you, like today, if I had to write to any random person, ask for just 15 or 20 minutes. Don't put in like can you be a mentor for life? No one has that period of time. But can you give me a 15 minutes of time? 15 minutes tea break is also fine for you.
Yeah.
Someone's, if you just imagine if you get an appointment with the person who you want to be, in
your role model.
It can be in any phase. Or let's take example of Sachin Tendulkar from cricket, because India follow cricket, and just imagine you want to be a best cricketer and this blah 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 all things, and just imagine if you can get 15 minutes of Sachin Tendulkar. It's not that easy. That's difficult. If you on that path, you'll surely get it. Okay, because it happened with me as a person. Like a random WhatsApp status, I seen one of my friends sitting with Sachin Tendulkar at his home. I was like, oh my god, that is possible, and that can happen by network. Okay, just talk with people. Like I want to connect with XYZ. First, somehow you can reach it to that. Okay. So it is like focusing on the path.
No, that's wonderful. And especially there have been some great points that you shared with us, that setting small realistic goals